Welcome to this week's bonus episode for the Trauma to Testimony podcast. This is your girl Tony, and this week's resilience plan is apply grace. So, a lot of the times when we have been through things and we're in this healing journey, we are so critical and hard on ourselves. So, this week, I want to encourage you to apply grace to it. So, an example of this could be maybe you have been so critical on yourself about being at a certain stage in life. Okay, yes, let's apply grace. Grace gives you the opportunity to see where you are, having those blessings of where God has you right now, and understanding that, you know what, you cannot do it in all of your power, that you have to release the power. And that's being in God's grace, releasing the control, the power, thinking that you can do it all on your own, that feeling of, having to defend yourself and using those defense mechanisms to outweigh just the ability to live in true grace. Okay. So this week, find ways to practice grace in your life. Find ways to say, okay, you know what? I may not be at this certain place in my life, and I may not understand what I am going through, but what I can do is sit here and be in grace. Because the one thing about grace is that grace allows you to understand that things work on just the timing of God. Like everything happens in God's timing. And you don't have to rush your life or think that you're so far behind when you're living in an area of grace. So, this week's scripture to go along with this resilience practice, which is going to take some time because I know what it is, to really try to be in a place of grace when you feel like, okay, I have to have things in my own will and my own power to know that I'm doing good. And the thing is, listen, we don't have to prove anything to anybody, and everything is going to come to pass, if it's in the will of God. So walk in grace. So, our scripture for this week is verses Second Corinthians 12 verse 9. And I'm reading this out of the New Living Translation. It says, each time he said, "My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I am glad to boast about my weakness, so that the power of Christ can work through me." Mm-mm-mm. God's grace is sufficient for you. Okay? So take that with you this week and apply grace to it, even when you start having maybe those negative thoughts, you start seeing yourself going down a road of, okay, I'm thinking bad things. Just know that God's grace is all you need and that God will work best in weakness, meaning that no, boo, it ain't that you this weak, individual. It's like, no, God needs you to surrender. If you think that you're strong on your own and you can do everything, God can't really work through you. And it's not that it's left on God, it's that you may be closing him out. So just know that where you are weak, God is strong. So even if you feel like the vision isn't turning out the way that it's supposed to, or I'm behind, or I'm not, on time, and I don't understand, God, why it's not working out this way. Just know that God's grace is all you need. And then if you think something is so big and so tough, and you think that you'll never heal, you'll never get over it, God's grace is all you need. Apply that grace, boo. I'll talk to you soon on our new episode.